Okay, what's up, y'all? I got another quick little Halloween style dubstep, scary dubstep or rhythm or tear out tutorial for you today. And this one, I'm going to be showing you how to make this kind of creepy filler element that I have here in the drop. So I'll play it in context. And so we are specifically going to be going over these two different elements right here. So it's just two pieces that layer together to make like a creepy swell. And I'll start with the simpler one just because this one is not really, I'm not doing too much here. And so all I've done is gone in here and I have a bunch of different scary stuff. Right? That I've downloaded on Splice. There's a lot of different horror elements packs, and the quickest and easiest, and like if you don't love sound design, the best way to make your tracks scarier is go get some of those and then just do some very easy changes to them. So for this one, I use this sample and I really like the tail part of it. So I've gone in here and used normalization, right? So I did normalization and then I changed the in to just basically like quick compress this, right? Make it louder. And then I changed the pitch to fit with my track. I'm not going to do the music theory on that to show that, but you can just pick whichever one sounds scary. That's the good thing about making scary music is you don't have to be like, is this in key? It's more, is it not in key? Does this sound dissonant and scary? So I did those quick things, just kind of auto quick compressing it. And then the only thing I did here was do a volume automation. So I'm just fading in and I'm cutting that low end out of there, the high end, because my other piece, and if I let me show my spectrum analyzer real quick. My other piece here is doing the low end. So, or the mid. So we have like these frequencies are represented. The higher ones are not so much, and that can be okay. You don't always have to fill the spectrum. But that's basically just adding in those upper harmonics and fading them in there. So then for my lower piece, this one is, I think, quite a fun and easy sound. And once I figured out how to make it, I was really like, oh, that's, not a lot to make that creepy type thing that I've heard in a lot of movie scores and stuff like that. And so what I did here was I took that piano sample that I use for a lot of granular synthesis. It's just a plain C piano. It's kind of a mid-range key. And so what I did to it was change the pitch, use this pitch knob to change the pitch even more. And then I used this, and I kind of set that randomly. I just go with what I'm doing in my track here. And just kind of found what sounded good based off of using this pitch modulation knob. It's not so much about getting the note that's correct for the spot. Like, you're not going to, if you're making something scary, you can't have, or it's not that you can't have dissonance, but it's like you have such a free space to have wrong notes. And like, that's what makes it more tense and scary, that you can just kind of like mess with it and be arbitrary and don't aim for a specific feeling. And then that's how you get some of your more atonal, out of key sounding tenser stuff. So the next thing that I did here was using my channel pitch, right? This, just bend it up and down slightly. So it's going up and then down a little bit. Then I start getting into my effects. So I'll add the first one that's on there, which is a fruity fast distortion. Just really like crunching it up and adding distortion. It doesn't do too much other than just dirty the signal and give it the space that the sample is in, gets more presence, I think, and just a little bit more grunginess. Next, I have added the default fruity convolver reverb, right? And then just turn the dry down. So I don't want my dry signal in there. And then I've automated my wet signal. And so all I'm doing with my wet signal here is raising the level slowly. So with all those pieces together, we get that, the first bend and then the sustain in the reverb. And then I build it up even more into the end. And the last thing that I put on here was a Pro Q3 just to boost the highs. Right, so just some quick and easy stuff. And then before I end this one, I did want to say, one of the things that can be useful, I know it's kind of like feels right to just have all these clips end. Whoops, so if you hold shift and slide, it'll keep the points level. So I don't have to worry about moving my points volume. I can just kind of slide it around, and you do that by holding shift. Instead of having these rise into the next synth, like if you want to give it a tiny bit more impact, right? So you can slide it back a little bit, right? If I just move this back, holding shift again, it cuts out and lets this next kick be more impactful. Right? Cuts to 0. So for that one, I don't want to go on too long with this tutorial because that's really all the pieces to it. You can do a lot of different stuff with this. You know, like if I bend it lower, it sounds good. This is kind of one of those things that you can get random with. And see, that one even bends back down a bit. I think it's usually best to kind of cut it after your first bend, but you can even, you know, just go crazy. And you get totally different tones just by changing this automation right here. So I don't want to drag this one out, y'all. It's a nice, quick, easy one. Thanks for watching, and I will see y'all in the next one.